Hey everyone, welcome to Madness Included. We're going to be going on the continued adventure of this party. We have a new party member, as you can see. Um, Last time, though, on Markaleth, these people went out of a my brain died. Sorry. Yeah. So the people went out of Sherlock Gnomes' establishment, looking for clues on why a missing persons report was given on Obsidian's adoptive parents. From there, they went to the residence of Mr. and Mrs. Shorts, where they found lots of strange things going on. Furniture missing, even though they were there this morning. Layers of dust built upon the floor and the walls, scratch marks throughout the entrance hall. They also found Mr. Shorts, who is significantly older, up in his workshop, and he didn't recognize any of them. With the confusion, they decided to investigate the scratch marks and found out that there was some sort of planar magic associating with these scratch marks, and when they destroyed them, it caused a rift to break free, and the illusion that was put on the establishment back to normal. They still have no answers to what happened to the Shorts, but in their travel, they continued on to different houses to see if any of the other missing people had the same things happen. They came across a group of guards who were on the outskirts of one of them, and upon talking to Kira, Konstantin's brother, one of the knights, they found out that the monarch took over the cases of the missing people and that they were no longer to continue looking. They did give one bit of help, which was to go after a missing monster who's been causing havoc on the streets. They also found a map that was luckily placed inside Konstantin's backpack, where it had an area in the slums circled. They went down to this area, which led them into the sewers, where they came face to face with a giant two-headed monster. But before we get there, our story takes us to a room where we have a half-elf laying in a bed, unconscious. You do see him start to wiggle a bit, and his eyes open up. And if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hot seat already. I knew it. I am Cordell, and I will be playing the half-elf rogue Artorius.
So, you wake up in a blur. Your brain, not quite sure how you got here. You're in an empty room with a couple cots in it. You see off to the side a doorway, and that's really the only thing that you can notice right now.
Alright, so laying in a cot and coming to. Going to try to move a little bit to make sure that I have everything still intact.
Yeah, everything seems to be intact. You notice that you do not have your normal apparel on, and you don't have your gear. Your body's quite sore, but not enough to keep you from moving.
So I will slowly stand up. And you said that the door was the only way in and out?
To your knowledge, yes.
take a quick glance around the room, make sure that my effects are not in the room, like my armor and weapons, whatever else I was carrying.
Yeah, you see a bag off on a shelving bookshelf that has seems to be your bag. You don't see any of your clothes or anything, but it does seem to have at least your backpack and stuff that you had on you.
I'll go through it just to double check to make sure that nothing was taken or if I misplaced something, and get into my attire.
Okay. As you're getting situated and all sorts, you hear movement coming from down below you. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem very rushed or anything. Just the standard people. Just someone's walking around downstairs, collecting things, setting stuff down.
All right. I will get my gear situated, get my backpack on, and attempt to leave the room.
Okay. As you approach the door, handle turns. It's unlocked. You go to open it up, and it just lets out, of course it does, the most annoying just as the door opens up.
Should have oiled the hinges.
Yeah, a lot of these slum buildings. Whew. And you see a stairwell that leads down.
All right. I will take the stairwell on the way down and just kind of... Is he dying? Is the guy dying? Is there somebody dying in the building I'm in?
I don't think so. I mean, there might be a couple other dying people, but not that you can hear.
That sounded like a death cry. All right. I will lean down a bit and try to get a bit more of a look of my surroundings as I call out, "Hello? Is anyone here?"
And as you say that, you look down and you see a man standing over a sink cleaning off what you can tell are different bladed utensils. And he just kind of like cocks his head back a bit and says, "Ah, you're awake." And he turns around and you see a half-orc, quite privy with how he looks. Doesn't look like your stereotypical half-orc. And you've been out for quite a few days now. I wasn't sure if you were ever going to come too. My name's Arnok.
As I speak, I'm going to rapidly pat myself down to make sure I'm not missing any appendages because he was cleaning off his tools, and say, "I'm Artorius." I'm sorry, you said days?
Yeah, I've had you up there for 2 days, 3 nights now. Don't worry, none of these were used on you. I kind of run a little bit of a clinic here to help the less fortunate.
I see. I apologize. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't remember anything.
Well, I can tell you that I found you in the industrial district. You were propped up against one of the factories down there. Yes, it was during the last dark moon, and, not good for someone to just be passed out on the streets at that time.
All right. I'm going to quickly bring my backpack around, and I'm going to rifle through it for anything that I would have on me that would give me information as to what I may have been doing the past few days.
As you rifle through your bag, your hand comes across a thicker piece of parchment, and you notice it's an invitation to the palace. And it has your mother, your father's, and your name on it.
Is it dated?
It is dated for the day before the dark moon. So, 4 days ago. Or 3 days ago.
Oh, I seem to have missed this. Nothing else in my backpack that would land in any kind of information.
I mean, you do have a thing of keys, which are in there, which you remember. I mean, they're the keys to your father's factory, which could be a reason why you were there, why you'd be passed out on the outskirts. That's not really as certain. Well, are you feeling much better? Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm going to quickly put everything inside of my backpack, swing it back around in my bag. I apologize if I was rude, good sir. I appreciate everything that you've done. What do I owe you?
You owe me nothing. Anyone in need, I'm here to help.
I very much appreciate that.
All I can do is just ask for you to pass forward when you see someone who needs help.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you.
And he kind of points off to where the front entrance is. You're free to go anytime you feel like it. If you need to rest a bit longer, that's perfectly fine too.
All right, I will. Thank you, and I will attempt to remember you in the coming days. And I will step out the door into wherever I'm located.
As you step out the door, you notice that you're definitely in the favela. Houses are broken down. People are worse for the wear. Definitely not a place you're too comfortable with. But you have been here from time to time.
Right. Okay. So, do I know where I am given the landmark of the day?
You look around a bit and you can tell the street you're on. You can either take it straight up to the educational district, or you're also quite close to heading towards the industrial district as well.
I would like to set a course for my mother and father's house.
Depends which one you would like. There are two. Your mother has a place inside the Monarch district, but then y'all's main home is in the industrial district closest to where your father works.
Main home.
Okay.
Childhood home, growing up.
Yep. Alright, so you're gonna take the path to the industrial district. You're gonna be heading down towards the far west of Markaleth to get to the wall which leads to the bridge across to the industrial district. You do have to go through a bit of a shady bit of town. It starts to increase in stench as you go down. You're getting to where you know as the pollution area, where the factories release all of their goo.
Pollution.
Yeah, pollution.
What an interesting smell I've discovered.
And from there, you get to the area where you notice a lifted up sewage lid, a manhole covering. And from that manhole covering, you hear a roar like you've never heard before. Not from anything natural that you've ever heard.
So it's definitely not the sewer rats.
Probably not.
All right. Against my better judgment and out of complete curiosity, I'm going to head down to investigate because I always wanted to get eaten by a giant, whatever that is. Can't believe I'm doing this.
Hey, just give me 2 seconds.
How's everybody else doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
If you watch
Happy
the last
Friday.
episode, if you watch the last episode, I'm covered in crap.
Sorry, toddler. Okay.
You're not the only one covered there,
So-
Obsidian.
From there, we will jump back to our next group.
Next group?
Well, the
Oh no!
group.
What have I gotten myself into?
Good question.
While
That's a
you're
very good question. Yeah, sorry about earlier. I had a bug crawling on me.
Okay, so we are in combat now. Maybe. Sorry, our webcams froze for a second. I'm not sure why. Sorry, guys. Just stick with us. We're still learning layouts of everything. Okay, so we come back to the party who just ran into a 20-foot tall creature with multiple heads, 2 arms. As much of a joke as I made last time, he does only have 2 arms. They're in the sewers, and I'm gonna need initiative rolls from y'all 3.
There's so many heads.
oh dear.
18.
Nine.
Ouch!
I got a 5.
What'd you get, Obsidian?
I got a 16.
Okay, so first up will be you, Austin.
It's how far away?
It
15
is,
feet.
15 feet. You're technically on top of a Mr. Obsidian's shoulders.
Covered in
Filth.
Yeah.
filth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be jumping off his shoulders and trying to flank around the backside, but still not close enough to engage.
All right. So you got how much movement?
35.
All right. So you're wanting to get behind it then?
Mm.
Now, this sewage is about 3.5 feet deep, so you are it is gonna be treated as difficult terrain for y'all.
He's gonna be swimming through it.
Oh no!
So, with that
I'm
being
actually
said,
3'1", so
you only have actually 15, 20 feet of movement.
Is there like a where I'm standing? Is that stopped? Is that still plain terrain, or is that still?
yeah,
Hard terrain.
on the circle part is plain terrain.
Yeah.
Only the
Am
water.
I actually going to be able to battle being in it that deep?
What? You have a bow.
No, I meant close-up battle.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Ah,
Okay, then
You
let
could
me
bow it,
retract
yeah.
that. I'm just gonna get onto the outer circle and bring my bow out.
okay. You gonna stay between Konstantin and Obsidian, or are you gonna move somewhere else?
I think it would be curving to the left some, as much as I can go.
Yeah, you can go. You can go all the way to the. There's a hallway back behind you now.
And let's see. And I can take a shot or no?
Yeah, you can take a shot.
Okay, I will take a shot. And that is I missed.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 2.
Yeah. A
I
2.
missed.
2's gonna miss. I'm assuming that wasn't total, though.
No,
8.
so an 8. Okay, that's still. I doubt it.
Yeah, no. That is going to miss. So, next up, then, would be Mr. Obsidian.
I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
So I'm pulling Night Stars out. I'm leaving the lantern on the outer circle behind me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna rage. Okay. And I'm gonna charge it and take a swing.
Gotcha.
Should have enough movement to get there.
Yeah, 15 feet, so.
I'm gonna do it recklessly.
All right.
Ew. That's gonna be a total of 12.
That is going to miss.
Oh no.
Konstantin, you're up next.
Please do better than us.
Yeah, obviously.
Rolled with advantage and I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
Alright. I'm going to use my spell Ensnaring Strike.
Okay. So bonus action. Throw
Yeah.
on Ensnaring Strike.
That's still a roll, or yeah, it's still.
I mean, yeah, you still have to make the attack. Because if I'm not mistaken, that just adds stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
next time
19
you hit.
total.
A 19 will hit, so now it has to make
A strength
Strength
saving
saving?
throw.
and it has advantage.
Yep.
Okay, against your save DC, what's your save DC? Probably gonna make it. Yeah, it got a 19 in total.
Oh.
Oh.
So it is gonna break out of that and not get ensnared, but I think it does still take,
Still takes the weapon damage.
yeah, weapon damage. So go ahead and roll damage of that.
Okay.
So it should be a die 8.
Yay. Five plus 4 piercing damage, so 9.
Nice. Okay. So we'll go ahead and hop to you real quick, Artorius. You hop down into the sewer, and what are your actions from there?
Listen for the direction that roaring is coming from.
Well, from where you're at, the sewer ends to a small grate where the sewage is leading off to, and then the tunnel continues down in the only other direction you can go.
Do I see or hear anything else of import?
You can see a faint light all the way at the end of the tunnel.
Oh no. Do I want to go towards the light? This is even worse. Alright, I will make my way towards the light while keeping to the obvious shadows, question mark?
Yeah. Okay. What kind of pace are you going at?
Cautious. I
Cautious,
would say
okay.
half speed.
Okie dokie. Well then, with that being said, this creature is going to go now. He is going to full on rear up, and he is going to sprint through you, Obsidian.
Oh no.
I am going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw before you do anything else.
Do I have danger sense yet?
It's not a trap.
18.
Okay. So you are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage before reductions.
So 5.
Yep. And he will be leaving your circle of your threatened circle.
Gonna try to smack him.
Yep.
Still at advantage because of reckless.
He's coming after me, it looks like.
15.
Does reckless go the entire round?
Yep.
Okay. 15 is on the money, yeah. Hits. Which will drop him to 0 movement speed as he turns back around to face you.
Gonna take 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. As you drop his speed, he's going to turn around and, with both his fists up in the air, come down on top of you. And he's going to roll a 15.
15 will not hit.
Okay, he misses then. Top of the order. Austin, you're back up. You're also not in the camera.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at my my phone on the Fight Club. Okay, so I'm wanting to use the Kensei shot. This is the first time I've ever used it.
Roll big.
Bonus action.
So that's before, though, right? Before I attack, I would
Yeah.
be using that? Okay, so that, and attacking with the bow. Let's see if I get lucky. And that is gonna be 17.
17 will hit, yeah.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a die 8, die 4.
4.
Plus 4.
That- So that's a 4 and a 4.
Okay.
Plus 4, so 12.
Yeah, 4 on the die 4 and a 4 on the die 8.
Okay. So, that definitely seemed to have done quite a bit of chunk to him. Next up, then, will be Obsidian again.
I'm going to attack him again.
Okay.
Recklessly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He should have advantage on his attack.
Want to retro roll that?
Nah, it's all good. My mess up. Not going to punish you for it.
16.
16 will hit, yeah.
DM, I forgot to have on here, how many arrows would I have had? I just want to keep track so I don't...
20. You start with 20.
Okay.
It's going to be 11 damage.
Nice. Okay. Then it will be... Are you going to move or anything?
Nope, staying right where I am.
All right, Konstantin, your turn.
I'm really, that's a small channel, right? Like a drop down right next to me?
Yeah.
It's
not quite as deep. It's only about 2 feet deep.
Okay, can I jump that to the other side?
Yeah, you can make a 5-foot jump, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move around to other, I'm guessing,
Other hallway
tunnel.
there.
yeah,
Over here.
yep. And I'm going to as a bonus action, bless bowstring or channel divinity. Bless
Okay.
my bowstring. And I will shoot at one of the heads.
Alright.
One closest to me.
Go and take a shot.
15?
15 will hit.
15, 16, 17, 18, 18, 20. So 21 to truly hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
Gains a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls if it does not have such bonus already.
So it'll be your die 8 plus 4 plus 1.
Die plus 5 technically.
Yeah.
$11.
11.
We're liking these 11.
Okay. So at that point, we have a person who has gotten, at the end of your turn, have gotten up to this far, sneakily coming into this area. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, Artorius.
Alright. That is going to be a 25.
Okay, you feel pretty stealthy. That is the end of your turn, though, at that point.
You probably would have seen me jump across the little ledge.
So,
Its turn.
yeah, it is going to go. It turns around, or it's facing you right now, Obsidian, and it's going to take some swings at you. The first one, he's going to roll a 24.
Oh!
As he strikes me, a tentacle of force whips out and hits him back.
Okay. Second attack, he will roll an 18 on.
Both of those are going to hit. And then second lash is going to whip out at him as well. He's
Okay.
going to take 6 points of force damage.
Okay. That does bloody the creature. The first attack's going to do 17 points of damage.
So 8.
Yep. Second one's going to do 13 points of damage. To 6. That is his turn, though. From there, it is back to you, Oston.
Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's gonna be Kensei shot and O shot. That is gonna be a 8.
Sounds like it's broke.
Yeah.
Do you want to move or do anything else?
Really, you can only move.
Yeah, no. So no, I'm gonna stay where I'm not
Alright.
being looked at.
Back to you, Obsidian.
Gonna take some swings at him. Continues this whole reckless maneuverability that I've been doing. Maneuverability? Maneuver is what I meant to say.
Either one works.
They do.
Dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit.
Ooh.
Damage.
14 points of damage.
Nice. He's looking a little worse for the wears at this point. With that, it will be your turn now, Konstantin.
Alright.
-1 pew.
Sorry. -1 view?
-1 Q.
Um. I will use another spell for ensnaring strike.
Okay.
Nat 20?
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he can.
Oh, Konstantin.
Okay. Do you want the 23 or the 24 strength saving throw?
So it's not restrained.
So it rolled very high on its.
Obviously.
But that's gonna be what? A D8 plus
It's still
13?
Yes.
D8 13. Plus my
Nope, just
five?
D8 plus 13.
6. So 13, 14. 18? 19 points of damage?
19?
You said 13, right?
Yep.
Yeah. 13.
So 19.
Nice.
Yeah, 19.
All right. All right. So you come down this tunnel where you see a light, and you get closer, and as you get about 40 or so feet away, you notice a massive creature standing in a pool of what you can only fathom as disgustingness. This creature is green and rocky looking. It has 2 heads and it stands quite tall. You also notice a dark-skinned humanoid man standing behind him who seems to be at arms with him. At one point, you see an arrow coming from your left going across to strike or to sail past the creature, and then you see a arrow coming from the right hitting on. So it is your turn now.
This thing is taking a lot of punishment and it's still going?
It is still going. It doesn't look like it is doing too well.
So I can see its heads even though it's facing away from me.
You can see the back of its heads as they stick up over.
Okay. Am I aware of my innate powers yet?
You are, yes.
Alright, so I am going to attempt to manifest them for the first time in this situation and see what they are capable of. Keeping to the shadows and hurling my psychic blades, one at each of its heads.
Okay.
And from stealth, I believe that would give me advantage.
Yes.
Would that be for both blades or just one?
You can throw both of them.
Alright, would they both be an advantage or just one?
They should both be at advantage.
Alright, so my first strike. Discord is going crazy.
Yeah. Trying to get the music to work, and it's...
Giving you problems.
Yeah, new bot.
Alright, that first one is going to be a 23 to hit.
Okay.
I think that
So
hits.
that will hit. What's the 60-foot range on the throw?
Yep, no long range.
Okay.
Alright, for a grand total of... Holy crap. That's gonna be 18 points of psychic damage.
Okay. So, you throw this psychic dagger coming out. Oston, you notice, same with you, Cons. You see a purplish pink hue flash across your eyes and stab into this creature's back. And you see it just rear back in pain, and it just falls, nailing both of its heads against the edge of where the side ends into the water. And splash of water goes up over, covering you again, Oston, and more sewage. Obsidian, you see the monster rear back and fall. You're not sure quite from what.
I did it!
I'm going to walk over to the edge and look down the hall where I saw the dagger fly from.
You don't see anything.
He doesn't come out of stealth after attack?
I'm gonna climb back out of
Not if I
nasty
re-roll
business.
my check, I think, because I don't have Skulker, so
That's
I
fair.
don't stay hidden.
But to be fair, you also didn't attack them. You can give me a perception check, Konstantin.
I've already used my nat 20, so let's see. 2!
2?
Unfortunately, there's no 0 to the end of that.
Okay, so yeah, you see nothing. Artorius, you see a dark elf creature in the Oath of the Hunter Paladin attire come around the corner. Obviously, somewhat aware of something being down the tunnel with where you are at.
I'm going to remain hidden for the time being, just to see how this plays out.
Did you guys see I killed the thing? As I say as I climb out of the sewer.
I was watching it. It went backwards, and you didn't do anything.
Nah, I smacked it.
But I think someone else is here. Like, can't see him.
You can give me a perception check. You too, Oston.
I might be able to, even with my passive. Or
I
no, I wouldn't.
Yet.
Passive's
Yeah,
not
no.
an active.
I got
So-
sewage in my eye.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's not the only hole you probably have sewage in.
That's
Wait a
even
minute.
worse.
That'd be 23.
2 off.
I rolled a nat 1.
I would say that perhaps Austin sees, like, because the white garb of my clothing might reflect some of the dim lantern light.
To be fair, if any of them decided to pick up the lantern and walk down the hallway a bit,
No, because... no.
Well, lantern's on the other side of the ledge. I gotta jump over.
you moved over because you said you went over to look around. So I would have assumed you leaped back across.
I'm actually gonna pick up the lantern and hold it over the dead thing in the in the sewage, try to see if I can see what exactly it was.
You definitely can see what it was. It was a horrific monster.
Oh,
But as you're looking closer, you notice the face, one of the heads looks rather familiar. You look down, you kind of like turn your head to look at it, and you can almost swear that this was a man who went by the name of Aaron.
Aaron Pearson?
Aaron Pearson.
Hey guys, I found Aaron Pearson.
Last one on your set of,
That
people
was
to find,
the
wasn't it?
second on the top of the list. That was out of the small list that we got.
Well, we're just working backwards.
But he was the second one on the list.
Didn't we find the other ones already farther down the list?
Yeah.
Eh.
So, Cons, what do you mean there's someone else here?
Well, there's something shiny down there.
Hello? And I turn around and hold the lantern up.
You can come out now. We're not your enemies.
Mr. Purple Flashness.
I will walk out, hands up, like so. I come unarmed. Gentlemen? Gentle
So
sirs?
You're saying he killed the thing?
Well, it definitely wasn't you as much as you want to take credit for it.
I mean, I smacked it and it fell backwards.
So I mean, what y'all see a very well-dressed half-elf. He wears attire from one of the families that's pretty well known in the Monarch district.
Would I know who he is?
You don't recognize him, but you do recognize the attire. Not specifically, but
Basically, the family symbol attire.
yes.
I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna brush my hand off on the wall to try to clean it off a little bit.
I don't know if that's gonna help.
And I'm gonna hold it out to shake his hand. Well, if you helped us, then thank you.
And I will take his hand and give it a hearty shake. His grip is likely much stronger than mine.
It's also like made of rock.
And I'm going to look at him and say, it's okay. I have gloves on. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. I am Artorius Andorhil.
Now would I know the name?
You can go ahead and give me a history check.
Would I know the name?
Probably not.
And his passings with Dad.
Well, the industrial.
Oh, to be fair, yeah, no, that's fair. Go ahead and give me a history check as well.
I have no idea.
It's not gonna be great. I don't know who you
Both of
are.
y'all can use it as you have proficiency with it for this.
No, I don't.
17?
Not you. I'm saying both of them.
Oh, that's gonna be an 18.
Okay, wow, they decided to roll pretty well. So, Konstantin, with you, you recognize Andorhil as one of the knights. It was a woman. She was known as one of the best detectives of the time. That's what she became a knight from, was just her exquisite detective work. You, Obsidian, know the name Andorhil as a factory owner. Not one of the big ones, but a good-sized factory that's responsible for a lot of the basic production of food and stuff like that. So, an important factory owner.
Underhill, as the detective?
Yes, that would be my mother.
I'll give from one noble to another, just a bow.
And I will respond in kind.
Well, Artorius, the name's Obsidian. People around the favela usually tend to call me the guardian of the favela.
You have actually heard of rumors of a guardian of a favela. Most people have. You always just took it up as rumors, not anything true.
Well, you're quite the talk of the town over in that area. And
Yeah, well,
it looks like you've expanded your territory just a little bit.
this is still part of the favela.
True.
I am Konstantin.
Pleasure to meet you. And who's the short one?
Oston Freeshot,
Oston. All right.
one of the monks of the market. Yeah, I forgot where I am. Yes, a monk.
Right. All right. So, not to pry or be intrusive, but what in the holy name of everything that is holy is that thing? And
That's Aaron Pearson.
would I know that name?
No, you'd have no idea.
I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out the wanted poster of him,
Not wanted.
or the missing persons.
Would I have seen any missing persons or recall any?
No, typically you stay away from the favela, based on just your quick glance over it. You note or you see that it's someone who lived in the favela, just a worker ant in a sense. No one of real importance to the city at all.
Well, apologies, gentlemen. I can't really say that I know who you're looking for, but
That's him right there.
That's an Aaron right there.
Compare the face.
I am quite well not going near that big scary thing. I'm not exactly sure how you did, but many props to you.
You also notice on the missing poster, Aaron only has one head.
That's why I'm looking at the poster and not the creature.
So this is actually the third creature we've ran into.
I'm sorry, run that by me again. Creature? Third?
Well, mutant, actually. Mutation.
Moonrot.
The Moonrot, and I'm just gonna start spacing off, like,
Yeah,
the mention of
to your
Moonrot
knowledge, none of what they said has anything to do with Moonrot. You just know it just drives people insane. It doesn't change them physically.
So I'm at a complete loss here, and I look
You're
like
not the only one.
Oh, okay, so I am in good company then. Right.
Yes.
So was this what you were venturing down here for? Like, are you done, or is there more to be done?
It does smell.
I think there might be more down here.
Obvious.
We actually... We were led here through a series of clues.
Clues?
It's mainly a map with a giant red circle on it.
And then y'all were following scratch marks on the walls.
And yeah, I point out the scratch marks leading down the hallway here.
You notice that as it leads down, it starts to go up towards the ceiling.
Whatever it is can climb.
Yes, actually, the first thing we ran into that was mutated was actually on the ceiling.
I did this! Pulls up cons.
Yeah, you see a quick glance of just terrible scarring across the midsection of the paladin. Wounds that have not healed properly, which is really bizarre.
That doesn't look healthy. Do you hurt? Are you okay?
Never better.
Our buddy Arnok actually helped him out.
Oh, excellent. Good. Well,
Yeah.
as much as I disdain the scent of the sewers, I literally have nothing better to do. I was heading over to my estate, I suppose you could say, but I couldn't ignore the screams of whatever that is. So,
Run.
Looking at the second head that isn't Aaron, does it match up with any of the other missing posters?
Not that you can recognize.
Okay.
that would be creepy if it did.
Right.
I'm gonna try to hop over on it and search it for anything important to might identify anything more.
Okay.
He
Go ahead.
sinks in
Give
the...
me
I said jump over onto it.
yeah, a perception
It fell
check.
backwards. It's got to be a lot closer to the end now.
Well, it's heads. It's like kind of like, you know, how you sit in a hot tub.
Yeah, well, I'm tiny. I don't need much of a
Oh.
space to land on.
It's don't worry, it's only a warm tub.
I'm just gonna
Though-
push him
Sure,
in.
it's not a warm tub, but okay.
Hey, reassuring you, the bubbles that are coming out aren't because it's boiling.
Nah, it's gastral release of its gases because it's dead.
Needless to say, I don't find anything.
Did you give me a perception check?
I didn't ask you what to give. That's 15.
15. You're digging through his what's left of his pants, and you do find a small metal key.
Found a key.
Good job. It probably belongs to his house.
You just had to take the wind out of my sails, didn't you?
Well, in all fairness, I did break the door open earlier, so it kind of
Yeah,
doesn't need a key anymore.
Yeah.
So let's help Sir Austin feel better. Did you break the lock?
I broke the door.
So he didn't break the lock, therefore you can still use the key on the lock, good sir.
Well, there wasn't any lock, door, anything but leftovers of said door. He kind of hit it with that thing.
No, I didn't.
We're not
She
talking
did.
about.
No, I pulled it off
we're
the
not
hinges.
talking about the creature's house. We're talking about the monastery.
Artorius, this smell is starting to get to you quite a bit at this point. You're not really used to being in an environment that consistently smells like this.
You
You're
can
looking a
try.
bit green.
Yeah, you guys aren't planning on staying down here for a long period of time, right?
Hopefully
We're
not.
gonna follow those things, just, scratch marks.
Yeah, as he points about, y'all look up and y'all see the one trail of scratch marks leads into about 45 other trails of scratch marks, which goes straight up into a hole. And the ones of y'all with better perception, so Oston and Artorius, what is your perception? And or investigation will also do.
I can do investigation if I can follow at least one trail that looks like it stands out.
All right. Y'all
We just
two
do it
for
by
sure.
passive, right?
Yeah, just passive, more or less. Y'all two notice that it leads up, and y'all see a sewer grate at the very tip top. It's hard to notice, but you can tell that's what it seems to be.
Could I use investigation to piece together directionally where that grate would end up based on where I entered?
Yeah.
Can I roll for that?
Yeah, you can roll for that.
All right.
Hey, Austin, you want me to throw you up there?
If
That is-
he
We're
fell,
just looking
he'd be
for the
landing in the
opportunity to throw me again.
That 21 investigation.
Okay. Yeah, you can tell that's you actually would have passed over that sewer. Could have saved you a bit of time if it would have screamed before.
No. No.
Could have landed on it.
The only way I would have done that was to see if I could have made a bigger splash than that thing.
Oh no, you would have landed on it because it's straight up from the
It's
center of this pool.
Open the manhole, and there's its head, just right there. Just poke.
Yeah.
Hold a dagger over it. Whee!
You did say its head's reached the ceiling.
Also, with that investigation check, you do notice that the claw marks don't seem to be from the same creature.
Can I
Oh,
identify?
that-
Would I be able to identify how many creatures?
How many different scratch marks?
Yeah, you got a 21 you said on your investigation?
Yes.
Yeah. You can roughly, like, for a guarantee, it might be more, it might be a little less, but at least a guarantee of at least 9 different creatures.
So I'm gonna pore over these scratch marks for a second and just kind of look at them. Just be quiet. And then I'm going to look over. You said you guys were hunting one of these things?
That's what we know of.
Because my best estimate is there's 9 of these things.
Looking around the room, how many tunnels are there?
Looking around the room, you see roughly 10 other tunnels than the one you're in.
Ho, 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 ho.
3 of them are tunnels that have sewage leading out towards, and then the other 7 do not.
If
We're
I'm
going to those ones, to
Sorry.
all of them, or
11 other tunnels. 3 of them have sewage. The other 8 do not. My bad. There's 2 smaller tunnels in between each big tunnel that has sewage leading out, and they go out like 4 cardinal directions in a sense.
If I roll the either investigation or perception, could I tell if there's any marks of said creatures going in each tunnel?
You can
Or-
roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll me either whatever one you want to see the. I'll let you know if you roll high enough what direction the trail seems to go.
20.
Oh, nice.
But plus perception, that's 23.
Nice. Yeah, so you can tell that all of the claw marks are leading out of the tunnels into up the ceiling to the grate.
So they came from the tunnels, or are they just going back and forth?
and from
between
all the other tunnels?
Not all of them, but some of them have scratch marks coming from.
I'm with Konstantin here. Yeah, are the claw marks heading up towards the grate, or are there ones heading back into the tunnels?
No, they're all heading up towards the grate.
Oh.
Oh. All the claw marks are heading to the grate from these tunnels.
With that was a natural 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you some extra intel. You can kind of piece together a reason maybe why y'all haven't been seeing or finding these people, why no one's been able to notice where they are, is you can assume they're using these sewages to get around town unnoticed. Now, as for why a lot are leaving out through this grate above here, that's up for you to find out.
There's no ladder going up to that grate, is there?
No.
I can still throw Oston up there.
How are you gonna get up there?
Well, he'd have to throw you with enough force to also open the manhole cover as well.
I do have a hard head, but that's besides the point.
He'd have to throw you really hard.
I could
Let's see.
lead us to that particular grate if that would help.
Might
That
tell us why they're all leading out of that grate.
And as much as I hate to say it, it might do us some good to investigate where exactly they're coming from, but that's more than half a dozen different directions.
How many tunnels did you see that had the claw marks coming out?
9.
9. There's the one behind us. The one where I was standing in front of. Where Austin was standing in front of. The
So,
one that doesn't have the claw marks.
Which 3 don't have the claw marks?
there's no claw marks from the tunnel y'all came from. And then there's
was.
also, sorry, my bad.
The
There's no
extent.
claw marks coming from the tunnel directly across from y'all is what I meant. And then the 2 correlating tunnels beside that have no claw marks either, beside the main one.
So the 3 up
Yeah.
Like that?
Mm-hmm.
Those three don't have the claw marks.
Which direction are those leading?
From
I don't think we know
based
north,
on-
south, east, and west under.
No. Based on where y'all are at, it would be leading to the east, and then one would be leading to the southeast, and one would be leading to the northeast.
Educational, living.
No, it would be heading towards. One would be heading towards the Monarch area, so through the educational market. One would be heading towards the agricultural district, and then one would be heading towards the industrial.
Okay, yeah.
Again, that's if they don't turn or anything inside, just directional wise.
So the
Right.
most of them are coming from favela and living district.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are almost at the wall.
Yeah.
Like, back the tunnel y'all came goes all the way to the wall of the favela, of the sewage system, because it connects to that giant pond of pollution and sewage and stuff.
You all want to investigate down those tunnels today, or do you want to come back?
I can tell you
Does
right
it look-
now, I am hurt.
I was about to ask that too. And plus, I think our noble friend doesn't like the smell.
No.
I mean,
in
I
all
don't-
fairness, I don't like the smell either.
Yeah, I don't think any of
Neither
y'all
do
are
I.
quite pleased with it.
I say we head back to Arnox.
Well, Artorius,
Yes.
is that Artorius. Okay. Can you lead us to where that grate is?
I
Upside.
can do my best. And don't forget your lantern.
I already have it picked up.
Of course you do. Let's go.
Yeah, you're getting
I'm about
double
to go.
vision at this point with all the fumes that are. You just woke up. You're not entirely sure if you're actually awake or not.
In the back of my head, I'm going, you know what? I just woke up from how many ever days long nap I just had, and the first thing I do is, hey,
Sewage.
why not? All right, so I'm going to lead them back up to the streets.
Yeah, you take
And-
the ladder back up from the manhole y'all dropped down into.
I'm gonna put the grate back down.
Yeah. Heavy. A lot of squealing noises as he's pushing it over. Don't get your fingers
I will
trapped in
have
there.
put my bow away and be carrying my tonfa again.
Okay.
Once we get topside, I'm gonna put out my lantern.
Hey, Obsidian, do you have any healing potions on you?
I live in the
Favela.
favela. You think I have money for a healing potion?
I thought you said that you were good. Are you hurt?
I'm a little injured.
Who is hurt? Let's get that out of the way first. Show of hands? Just this poor guy. You said you were.
I'm a little injured from earlier.
Before the fight with the big thing.
I will
Yes.
get to you in a second. I.
Actually, lay on hands.
That's a cool trick. I like that.
Don't heal the man who was wrestling with the giant thing.
I've got you. If you let me apply a bandage. What are you?
I'm an Earth Genasi.
You've never worked on Earth Genasi before. This is going to be
I-
interesting.
I've never.
I'm humanoid.
I can tell that much, but
I still bleed. I still have all the correct organs.
He's just made of a stronger material on the outside.
that's all I needed to know. I would like to roll a medicine check
Hi.
on this gentleman with my healer's kit
Yeah, go ahead and make a roll.
and see if I can patch him up just a little bit. That's actually Let's see. That is a natural 20 for a total of 24. Good sir.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. No, you did exactly what I needed you to do. So, with that being said, he gets you cleaned up in the areas you have. Can't really get your wounds to close immediately, but from everything he's done, you will gain 10 temporary hit points until your next rest. And these do stack with any other sources of temporary hit points, other than another medicine check. From any other sources of temporary hit points, I should say.
That will take a charge off of my healer's kit.
All right, now on a scale of 1 to 65, I'm sitting at about a pretty 35.
What
Yeah.
were you at?
You're level
25.
To be fair,
should be
he's stunned
evaluated
better.
here.
All right, so I've gotten you patched up, bandages in all the right places. It will hold you together so long as you don't get pounded by one of those monstrosities. Again,
Well, normally
Hopefully
he's
we
doing
don't.
count
Hopefully we won't run into another one of those monstrosities again
today.
today.
today. All
Alright.
right,
Can I use
great. This way. Let's go.
Yep. Y'all are gonna.
as we walk? I want to use my last spell slot to cure wounds on Obsidian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll.
D8
D8.
plus
Your charisma mod.
charisma.
It's D8 plus
2.
7.
All right, 7 hit points back. And as they're walking to the sewage grate, we are going to take a quick intermission for 10 minutes, and then we will be back.
Bye. Hey there, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying the episode so far. I'm just taking this time during the intermission to let you guys know that we will be streaming our sessions on Twitch every Friday starting at 10 p.m. Central and going to about 1 to 2 a.m. Central Saturday morning. The VOD of the stream will be up on YouTube the following Sunday night, along with the audio-only version on Spotify. If you like it, please subscribe, let us know. You can also contact us at our social medias on Facebook and Twitter. If you have any questions or comments about anything, let us know. We'll be sure to answer them. And besides that, let's get back to madness included.
We're back. So, y'all have made it to what you can assume is the grate where all these claw marks have came out of. Artorius leading the way is like fairly positive this is it.
Been trying to wipe sludge off of me as we were walking.
Not easy.
No.
As we get to the grate, is there any claw marks coming out of it?
Nope.
Or
I'm gonna reach down and try to open the grate.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Strength check.
Yep.
So that is gonna be a 17.
You reach down. There's not really anywhere to grab. This one's like flush and it's not. Doesn't have a bunch of holes in it, so it just has a couple that you kind of get your grips on, and you pull up. It's incredibly heavy, heavier than the last one, but you do get it lifted up.
Just gonna slide it off to the side.
Set it off to the side. You're now face down a dark tunnel that leads straight down. You can't even see the bottom.
Lights up a torch. There you go.
Mark off a torch.
Trying it down in the hole.
You see an unfathomable amount of scratches dug into the stone.
All right, well, Obsidian's going to take a book from all the other times he's seen scratches, and he's going to take out one of his chisels and try to mark the scratches.
Okay.
Just to see if anything happens like the last times.
No, nothing seems to happen. You shave off portions of these marks. You, Artorius, just kind of see him reach down and make scratches of his own. What you can assume.
Don't worry, we know what we're doing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Two of the places we were at had these marks, or had scratch marks, and when we destroyed them,
Well, when
the
he
room
destroyed
changed
them.
back to when we were there.
You guys are making it sound like we're in a ghost story.
I'm going to tell you right now, Artorius, a lot of stuff has happened since the Dark Moon.
That's not the norm.
Question. Actually,
Answer.
When was the last Dark Moon, good sir?
Like 2 days ago.
How do you not know that?
I was asleep for that.
And I thought I took good naps.
To be fair, I woke up in the middle of the Dark Moon, passed out on a rooftop, so we have something in common at least.
No, I was passed out for 3 days in the same bed. Didn't move once.
Wow, what did you eat? I want some.
Definitely not what you were just in 5 minutes ago.
That might have put you out for 3.5 days.
Might have put me out for life.
Didn't taste very good.
I didn't.
Why did you have your mouth open?
When you get covered in sewage, it gets everywhere.
Plus, let's be honest, is Obsidian a nose breather? Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Not down there.
Any scratch marches, any scratch marks on the outside of the manhole.
You killed Zach.
You can see them coming to where the brim of the manhole's at, and then they just disappear.
Quick thinking. Do I see this? Are you guys pointing it out? That kind of thing?
I mean, your passive investigation would notice.
You're standing
the
right there
scratch
around it.
marks.
We're kind of doing a circle around it.
How close are the buildings to this grave? Any surrounding buildings?
There's buildings here and there. It's the typical layout of a city where you just kind
Are
of have
we-
rows of buildings. Y'all are right in the middle of the road.
Are we near any of the was it 2-story or 3-story that we were?
No, y'all are not in that
Special.
area.
Okay.
Y'all
So
are getting closer to more of the middle. You're about like the halfway point between Arnox and the other sewer grate.
So we're not reasonably close to any buildings.
Not super reasonably, no. I mean, y'all are probably about 35, 40 feet away.
So
I'm going to take out my map with the mark, the circle on it, and look at where we're at compared to it.
Y'all are in the circle still, but not the direct circle either.
We're not like closer to the middle, or
Y'all are further away from the middle than where y'all were at.
okay.
Where in correlation to that circle were we when we first went down into the sewer?
As close as y'all could get to the middle without going into the lake.
That's right. The mutating lake.
Yeah, going with 2 legs, come out with 3.
Potentially.
So do these things jump really far, or do they?
Oh
fly?
yeah.
The one we have encountered leapt about 150 feet away from us.
That explains a lot.
It's one reason why we couldn't chase it down. It kind of got away from us. Looking
It's,
back on that thing, how strong, like strength-wise, could I tell that thing was?
Like
Well-
from a kickoff.
In order to lift the sewer grate, it would have had to been pretty strong. But Plus, you got to imagine something to be able to leap that far also would be incredibly strong as well.
Can I flip the sewer grate over? Is it like a manhole cover?
Yeah.
Can I flip it over and see if there's any scratches on the underside of it?
There's not scratches, but there are like small indentations. Something hit it with quite a bit of force.
But not enough to move it out of the way.
I'm just imagining that they tried to climb out all at the same time and just like bludgeon themselves against it trying to get out. You guys know more about this than I do. This is... I go to sleep and I wake up to this. This is fantastic. This is great.
To be fair, I went to sleep and woke up like this too.
I have to remember that. I have to.
Who's awake?
You sound like you are too overjoyed at that revelation.
To be fair, he's got together with me. He's had a lot of food, so...
Good food. His mom is an awesome cook of moon pies.
Was.
No talking like that. We don't know.
Sorry, my parents are missing. My adoptive parents are missing.
That's... not good.
No, they were the latest of the missing peoples. But according to the oh-so-righteous knights of the Monarch District, they have nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Oh,
You take offense to that?
Sorry, I remember your mom was a knight, is a knight.
well, if I had to put any kind of input into it, I would say that likely my mom didn't have anything to do with it because she was more of a private investigator.
Yeah.
As you're like thinking back to that, you kind of get a flash in your brain where it puts you back at the palace. You see blood splattered around. You see your mother standing over your father, and then you come back.
Now,
Artorius
am I
is
gonna
in space.
notice this as a flash like he's had?
Similar. It was a lot quicker.
Uh,
And then
That looks familiar.
Well, it's
What
familiar.
just happened? You visions that it looked like it. Did you just have vision of some sort?
I think I did. I was in the palace, and my mother was standing over my father's bloodied body. I have no idea why I would even recall something like that. The vision of the palace was very vivid, though. Very.
One thing you do recognized from the area was that y'all were in one of the towers of the palace, one of the outside towers as well.
Would I recognize that as the tower where any kind of important events would happen?
You know that is one of the areas that any celebration happens. That's one of the halls that they feast at.
I will relay that information to these gentlemen.
Well, is your dad dead?
I hope not.
Well, there's a difference there, because his was of the past.
Well, technically his was of the past, too.
Would I reckon? When I walk past the Monarch Castle, would I recognize that tower from where I walked past it?
You
As
would
where-
recognize the tower as an
Where I
outskirts
saw the
tower. You can't say exactly, but
It's not the tower that had the incident.
you don't know that for certain either.
Okay.
You don't know that it is or isn't, but you know there was an incident on a tower, and you're hearing of another incident that was on a tower.
Okay.
You told us about that, right, Zach?
Yeah.
Well, Khan's here said there was an incident at the palace during the dark moon. I'm gonna look around. Is anybody paying attention to us right now?
You do have quite a few eyes on you. Y'all are just standing in the middle of the street over a manhole.
Covered in filth.
Covered in filth, yeah.
Here, let's talk at my place.
Thinking.
My place is closer, technically, if you don't want to walk too far.
My place is in the favela.
His is closer, though.
Is it?
Yeah, because y'all are right on the outskirts of the industrial district.
Okay.
While yours is at the top of the favela.
Well, his estate was near his on his dad's factory.
It's connected to the factory.
All right. Well, if you guys want to head there, I'm gonna head to my house and get a change of clothes and meet you guys there. I know your dad's factory. I know which one it was, so I can meet you there.
His clothes could fit you if you'd like a change of attire.
Oh, could they? He was that big?
And draw you a bath. Hospitality and all that.
Would help with the wounds as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Food?
I do believe that we had a surplus of food. Yeah, pantry's all yours. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
All right. Well, let's head there.
Austin's just like, yay, food.
No, I was just swimming in filth, but food.
Oh, and before any of you get food or courtesies, please wash the filth off. Clothes for all of you. I think I have some of my
Baby clothes.
baby clothes, yeah, for you, Sir Austin. They should fit you.
You're like
Just-
what? You're like what, a 5T or something?
Maybe a 6.
How tall are you?
3'1".
3-1. Just
He's
barely
probably a
above the
bit
average.
bigger than that. Yeah, he's probably a bit bigger than that then. I don't think Summer's 3
Artorius
feet
and I are about
yet.
the same size.
Yeah, I'm 5'10".
Yeah, we're about
Yeah,
the same size.
y'all are roughly the same. I think you're what, 5'8", Con?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Alright,
enough to
well.
make a difference.
Let's head there then.
Okay.
And I shall lead on.
Okay. As we walk there, I'm going to just think of the second
Before we do
mutation.
that, put that back on.
I planned on it.
The second mutation. Thinking back on it, did it have any claws, or was it just a complete blob?
Complete blob.
There was no claws
Mm-mm.
to its name.
It also didn't move very fast, so you could assume that it probably couldn't climb either.
I'm gonna slide the sewer grate back on the hole.
You get it back on, and y'all head off to the industrial district.
Sorry, folks, we were just fishing for carp.
They look very confused at you. Kind of, as you're walking away, they walk over to it like, huh? Can I get food down there?
I point to Austin and say, "Yeah, we caught one. See, all good."
Carry on.
So, as y'all make y'all's way into the industrial district, a layer of fog, per se, it's not quite fog, but
Smog.
yeah, smog, I guess would be the appropriate term there,
Smoke fog.
rolls in as Artorius and Obsidian, y'all are used to the industrial district, has a ton of factory, ton of coal work. It causes quite a bit of smog in the air. Nothing that's unbearable, just a little annoyance.
And so I see everything just clear because I'm like underneath all.
You're
that, right?
underneath the smog.
Yeah, but you don't because the smog kind of cancels out a lot of the moonlight as well, so it's just harder to see because it's darker for you. But yeah, y'all make y'all's way and you get within a block or so of your father's factory, and you notice a ton of people are there. A ton of workers are there, just standing on the outside of the factory. Just a big group has formed.
And looking like, are they like protesting, or are they just looking at the factory?
They're just, yeah, looking at the factory. They don't seem to be protesting anything. They do, a lot of them look angry, though.
So like the mob that was at the.
No, not like that at all.
So like a group of people who can't get into work because the factory was never opened.
Spot on, yeah.
I
I've
wonder
seen it.
how he knows.
I've seen it once or twice. I worked mainly with the industrial district.
That doesn't look good.
Approaching, do we hear anything from them? Hear mutterings or talkings?
Yeah, Austin, your passive picks up a lot of... This is the third morning I've come into work and can't get in. How am I supposed to support my family if I can't work? Just different variations of that.
Nothing of any real import.
I mean, if you don't find that important, then no.
No, I'm meaning more like
You don't...
scuttlebutt of what thinking why.
No, you don't really get that.
I'm gonna try
I will
to
use my silent speech to have let them all know that's what I'm hearing.
Okay,
At the time.
yeah.
You hear someone talking in your head, Artorius.
You absolutely do, yeah. It sounds like Austin. You turn around and his lips aren't moving.
I shouldn't be surprised, though, right? Not overly surprised.
You're more surprised that someone else has the ability to do that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's not a very common thing. So the fact that someone else is talking in your head without you activating it first kind of at first confuses you for a second.
Well, let me see if I can do something about this.
Looking through the crowd, is like a wall and a gate? Or is there, like, a lock on the
So
gate?
pretty much there in this factory, there's a giant garage that would open up, that would allow people in, and that's closed down.
I could try to create you a path to the front door by pushing my way through. Would that be helpful?
That
I
would
think
be
they might
helpful.
smell you first.
I don't think you'd have to touch anybody. I think they'd move out of the way.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
actually
gonna
a
start walking.
Yeah, as you all approach, people do turn around and kind of like, you can see they're not pleased to smell y'all.
Do I know any of them?
Not by name.
Okay.
Would I have any access to the factory at all?
You have keys, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna create a path down the middle of the crowd to the garage door. Going to part the people see.
Yeah. They kind of don't fight you back.
All right. Gentlemen, I think we're gonna have to delay going to the house slightly, but we should be all right. And I'm gonna double check myself for those keys.
Yeah, you pull out of your bag. It's a key ring that has a couple different keys. One of the keys being a flat, almost like a flat piece of metal that has like grooves in it. And there's a lock on the garage that has like just a long grooved area.
This should do it, if I
Do you-
remember correctly.
Do you want people to come in? Because I can stop people from coming in.
Think until we know what's
Just-
going on.
Yeah, just hold them back for a second. I want to see what's going on here, and I'm going to apply key to lock.
I'm gonna take up a bouncer position.
Yeah, the key slides in, and you turn it. You hear like a, eh, and then when you release it, pull it out. The door starts to open up. The garage door starts to open up.
Looking back at the people, do they feel apprehensive? Are they excited?
A lot of them are just kind of like, finally, like,
I'm gonna try to keep them back still.
it's quite a bit of a group, but they don't really want to be touched by you, so they're kind of
I'll do the
hesitant to
same at a
move.
smaller stature.
Once they try to like get close, I'm gonna take Nightstar and just slam it on the ground and try to get a intimidation factor.
Well, they're not getting close enough where
Okay.
you should need to do that.
Wait a second. Austin? What was that you said to me earlier? When you tickled my brain with your little blah, 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 without
I'm
moving your
talking
lips?
about how the place has been closed for 3 days.
I'm going to go back to the crowd while the garage door is opening and ask the closest person, how long has this factory been closed?
You can see he kind of just rubs his nose, just like, hasn't opened up since the Dark Moon.
And this is my father's factory.
Yes. I'd hope so, that you don't just have keys to someone else's factory.
I just wanted to double check because, like I said, I'm waking up from a coma. Going back over to the garage door, this time with more urgency and taking a look in.
As you walk off, he's like, do we get to start work now?
Perception on just surveying the inside of the factory.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception.
15, 18.
Yeah, so just you see the line of constructs that line up the side of the factory all powered off. You see the conveyor belts and stuff. None of it's moving, none of it's on. Just all the lights are turned off inside the factory.
But everything seems normal otherwise.
Yeah, it's just not turned on.
What I want to know is, I mean, your father wouldn't be opening the thing. He owns it. Where's all the lower managers and whatnot that would have opened it?
That's not a thing here. He owns the factory. He's a very industrious type of man. He never misses a day of work.
Yeah, plus this isn't like one of the major chain factories. This is a personally owned one.
Okay.
Did
So
my
it-
father... Sorry. go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, so instead of like one of the main ones having like 250 to 500 people, this one roughly only has about 50 to 75 workers working for it.
I was just thinking like a foreman would have opened it, but yeah, no, if it's that small, understandable.
Did my father teach me enough about the inner workings of the factory to get it started and
Well,
aid people
You
in-
could consider yourself the foreman in a sense. You actually did do a lot of the work here with him whenever, he needed extra help. You were kind of his second in command. You weren't there as often as he wanted you, but you had to learn between multiple businesses.
Oh, gentlemen, I am going to avail you of my home and resources. And I'm going to give them the address and the appropriate key.
Okay. Yeah.
Go,
So
please.
you, well, based on what he said, it's literally just a road over, directly behind the factory, practically connected to the factory. But you gotta go around the roads.
I was gonna say there's no back door.
We couldn't
Yeah.
walk through the factory to get to his house.
Yeah.
So please avail yourselves of my generosity, and I'm going to get these people to work because this is just way too weird. And if I'm not back, feel free to come back.
Yeah, we'll go get cleaned up, and then if you're not back, we'll meet you back here.
Food.
Yes, raid the pantry, please. Feed yourself. And I'm going to wave to the crowd and say, "Hey, work time. Let's go."
Yeah. Just do that as you do the whole power on switch and the lights shutter on, the conveyor belts start to move, the robots or the constructs activate, and the business starts to commence.
I'm gonna place Night Star on my back again and walk up and grab the key from Artorius.
Yep.
Alright, we'll see you in a little bit, I guess.
Before we walk off, as he turns on the lights, is there anything that moves within the rafters and all that couldn't be there?
You can give me a
Let him-
new perception check. What are you wanting to ask, Artorius?
I am going to connect them to myself via psychic whispers.
Okay.
And
14?
Yeah, let him go ahead.
And my passive wouldn't notice any of these things. I'm facing the other way.
Yeah, you aren't really paying too much attention to the inside of the factory. You don't notice any scuttering. You see some shadow movement, but you kind of chalk it up as the robots kind of moving and the light sitting off of them. Robots, constructs. I don't know why I keep calling them robots. They're the same thing.
Little robots.
No, they're not little.
I said good old robots.
They said little robots. Artorius just cast it flashbang.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. I will connect Obsidian and Oston via my psychic whispers. That's a number of people equal to my proficiency bonus for 4 hours, and they can go within a mile of my range.
Yeah, so y'all can pretty much go halfway across. Not halfway, about a fifth of the way across Margaleth before.
It's a super walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
Neat.
it's message on.
Unlike my
Roids.
one directional.
Okay.
So, y'all are gonna head to the house. What are you gonna be doing, Artorius?
I'm going to be supervising for the next few minutes, make sure everybody gets into their places, they're okay, morale is better.
Morale definitely has improved as soon as you said "get to work, boys." Everyone kind of. It's like finally. It's like, you know, a lot of these people, this is their being. This is the only way they can feed their family.
Good. And then I will go into my father's office and start looking around just to see if I can find anything that will jostle the marbles upstairs.
Yeah, you're digging around upstairs. Everything just kind of looks in order. Like there's nothing's out of place. The only thing that your brain kind of keeps turning back to is, what were you doing 3 nights ago? Like, because that's where your memory just fades away.
Alright, so after doing that for a few minutes, I'm going to sit down in his chair, assuming he has one.
Yeah.
And desk.
Yeah.
And elbows on desk, head in hands, trying to work out try to get some more info for what's. Boom.
And as you're just hands in your desk, head in your hands over the desk, just not having a clue what's going on. Inside your head, you hear, "Son, are you there?"
Dad, where are you?
"I don't know." And you kind of open your eyes and your hands, and you see down on your belt a shining purple light.
I'm gonna reach for whatever that is.
And as you reach down, it's coming from the hilt of your dagger.
This is not good. This knife is not fucking good.
Do you know what's happened? I fear I'm no longer on the plane of existence as you are.
Oh, come on, Dad. You can't be talking.
Are you okay, though?
Yeah. I just reopened the factory. Apparently, it's been closed for 2 days. Dad, come on, sorry.
I don't have any knowledge of time. Last I remember was the party at the palace we went to celebrate your mother's findings.
I had a flashback. She was standing over you, and you were bleeding on the floor. Come on, Dad. Tell me where you're at. I'll bring you home.
I think it's too far past that, son. I remember something happened with your mother. I think she was afflicted by moon rot. She tried to come after you, and I threw myself in front of her. And that's when the flashback to that party where you were thrown to the side from your father, as you remember the dagger that you're holding in your hand being thrusted into his gut by your mother's hands. And as he flung her to the side, the dagger slid off to the floor in front of you, where you grabbed it quickly and put it off behind you. As he let out a "Run!" Hearing your mother scream, "Don't hurt my boy," as she continued on top of him.
So, Mom really did kill you. Why are you in this thing?
I don't know. That was your mother's dagger, after all. She's good at keeping secrets. I don't know all the answers.
Why would she? You know what? That's not important. The moon rod. It got her. And she went crazy.
That's the only explanation, but I don't know why or how. We're royalty. Nobles. Moonrot doesn't seem to affect us like the lower tier citizens.
What can I do for you, Dad? Anything. Just name it.
I don't really know. Live your life to the fullest, I guess. Remember everything I've told you. I mean, if you can figure out what's wrong with your mother and if she's still there, try to save her.
Yes, I will do that. Are you? You're okay though, right?
And as you say that, the light fades from the dagger, and you get no response.
Oh, Dad, fuck, Dad, please. And I'm just gonna drop the dagger onto the table and just. It's a defeated look. A man who is absolutely defeated.
And that's where we'll continue on to the group who is now traveling down the road, heading to a nice manor that they haven't been to in a while. Haven't been inside a higher quality manor like this. Y'all approach it, and y'all see a massive building. Like, it's a nice 3-story manor. Big double doors up in the front.
I feel a bit underdressed for going into the house like this.
That seems nicer.
Have
Nope,
you
he
guys
did
made
say
it to
you-
the house yet?
We're walking up right now.
Do
He did
enjoy.
say he has some clothes that'll fit you, so he'll be dressed.
There. I'm gonna go up to the door. And I'm gonna see if it's locked first off.
It is, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna use the key that Artorius gave me to open it up.
Okie dokie.
Quiet cons.
It opens up, unlocks, and inside is one of the nicest houses you've been in, Obsidian. Oston, same with you. Opens up into a grand entrance, a giant chandelier that's lit, hanging from the ceiling with 2 wraparound stairs that lead upstairs.
It's
Did you
lit.
say lit?
Yeah.
Hey, Artorius.
Yes, Obsidian.
So the giant chandelier in your house is lit.
It
It's-
stays lit all the time.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
ever burning candles.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's and you could probably tell he sounds kind of.
Defeated.
Defeated.
It's we spared no expense.
You alright there, buddy?
Not really. I'm going to head that way in a few minutes.
Alright. I'll try to get cleaned up before then. And, I'm going to proceed to find A, a bathroom, B, clothes for me to wear, and C, find the kitchen for Oston.
Alright, go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Well, I'm going to be doing the same because me seeing this, I'm guessing there's probably more than one bathroom. And remembering that I was told I need to be clean before food, I'm definitely going to be searching and wanting to find it on 18.
I got a
Most likely
0.
thinking-
Okay, so
Wow!
after about like 30 minutes after about like 30 minutes of just walking around this house, you meet up with Artorius out front.
I got a little lost.
Austin, you do find yourself a bathroom to clean up with. Cons, you make your way around too and find it as well. And y'all get all cleaned up. And like I said, Artorius, you make your way to your manor and you just see Obsidian just like looking around on the outside of the place. Just if that
Still covered in film.
that
Well,
He's-
partially wiped off filth, I should say.
yeah, a lot of it's dried at this point.
Why? What? The bathroom's not. Why?
I couldn't find it.
I'm so
Oh my
sorry. I should have guided you. Come on, this way. We've got like 3 different bathrooms you can use.
Sorry, I'm
Great.
used to a lot smaller scale.
Right. Well, welcome, and I will show him where the bathroom is so we can get cleaned up.
Which
I will
one?
already have been pillaging the property.
You have quite a few bathrooms in this house. You taking him to the guest bath or a nicer one?
A bit of a nicer one where he can not feel claustrophobic.
Guest bath isn't claustrophobic.
Not that big of a point.
Y'all get to see what night money looks like. So, you take him to your personal bathroom inside your bedroom then. You've never actually seen a bathroom that has multiple tubs in it. You're not quite sure the necessity of that. It's more or less just there because it can be, I guess.
I think I need to ask with my 18, which one did I find? A guest one or one of the nice ones?
You went to the guest one. I didn't say the guests weren't nice. They were definitely nice. Pretty much all the houses have just massive jacuzzi tubs.
And there's multiples.
Some
Yes,
of them.
but jacuzzi tub for me, so swimming pool, got it.
Yeah. You could drown in the thing.
So nothing new to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thank
no, this
you,
is pretty common
Artorius.
to you.
and I'm gonna proceed to get clean.
Yeah, Austin, you make your way into the kitchen, and, you know, like the scene from Richie Rich when they're exploring the house? And, like, they get to, like, the food area where it's just, like, a whole bunch of different, like, restaurants almost. That's what you feel like. You walk into this grand hall of just food everywhere around you.
I think I'm just gonna start at one until I've worked my way through all of them.
Well, you probably will only get about a third of the way through before you can't fit in your pants anymore.
Surprising that
Well,
he still
I'm
can
not-
with all those moon pies.
Artorius, you just kind of hear groaning coming from the area of the kitchen.
Glad you enjoyed.
Yeah, he's just kind of propped back, just like collapsed on the floor in somewhat of a food coma.
Is
As
there
he's-
like a library or a study that I can explore?
Are you looking around, or are you gonna go ask Artorius?
Yeah.
Because you do hear that he's inside the house now. You got cleaned
Yeah.
up, and you kind of came out.
Yeah, I'll ask Artorius.
Yes. Well, not a library per se, but my mother had a study. She kept all of her information and whatnot in there. So yes, let me take you there, and I will take him to my mother's private study.
Okay. I'm gonna be looking around for like if she had like any personal journals that have any details of like strange happenings before she became fallen.
Would
Okay.
I have that personal journal on me?
You wouldn't have it on you, but you do know where your mother keeps her personal stuff. Because she has her typical couple bookshelves of just different things, and then she has a personal area, which is one of the keys you have on you.
All right. I will shorten his inspection time and go retrieve that for him.
Alright. Yeah, you open up her drawer in her desk, and you see It's completely empty minus one singular journal.
I'll pick it up, thumb through it, just like, and hand it to him.
Go ahead and give me a investigation check as you thumb through it.
Investigation. Good grief, my dice are on fire. That's a 25 investigation.
Better than my dice.
Ooh.
Damn. Dang.
Really better? Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
0 compared to a 25, yeah.
That's almost like maximum better.
Yeah,
That's
I'm waiting to fail. It will be spectacular. I'm going to enjoy it.
You thumb through and you see a couple words that make you stop on a page. It's one of the last few pages, and you see potential suspect Artorius Andorhil, ties to the Anarchist.
I'm holding the book, and I'm just going to stare at that as my brain does a complete reboot. Because, I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to randomly interject while I get out of the bath. Hey, Artorius, where's your dad's clothes so I can get dressed?
You just see him come out in a towel, like leaning over.
No, you still got the
You
link.
got the mental connection.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is still a mental connection. You hear that as your brain reboots back into where you're at.
I'm going to guess, based on how utterly shocked I am, that I don't respond at first.
You do notice, Konstantin, that he just freezes on a page.
I'll make my way around the desk and just look at the book and read what's on that page.
You do notice that he does start approaching around the desk.
Getting no answer. I'm just going to start looking around in my towel for his
Again?
father's room.
So what I'm going to do...
Oh, good.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, in my mind, one moment, Obsidian. And I'm going to close the book as I hand it to Konstantin. Here you go. Enjoy your reading.
Okay.
And I'm going to go search for clothes.
Close.
I'm going to flip to the near the end of the book, find what he was stuck on.
So you flip to the last page of the book, the last insert into the journal, and you read out, "I've done as much research as I can. The information I've gathered may be true, but I'm not sure how my son could have gotten involved in this. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to confront him. I'll wait till after the party tonight." And that was the last insert.
And I did see the page before that he's...
Do you go back and look back at the past inserts and stuff?
Yeah, that he's somehow connected with the Anarchists.
Yeah, you do see that insert as you go back. And
Interesting. I'll close up the book and put it in my pack.
okay.
Did I find the clothes yet?
Yeah, you made it to your dad's closet. You look for some that might have been a little oversized for your dad that he hasn't gotten fixed up yet, and you grab them and take them over to Your room, where Obsidian is just waiting patiently, kind of dripping on your floor with his towel.
He dried off.
He doesn't really have the best manners.
Right. So, black silks, because obsidian. So here you are. They should be comfortable. Please don't jump in the pool of filth with these on.
I will definitely try my hardest.
And yeah, that's it. Enjoy the silks. Yeah.
Thank you. Should we meet somewhere to talk about everything that's been going on? Are you okay? You seemed your whole being kind of shifted since we left you at the factory.
Yeah, everything is great. Kitchen.
Can I get an insight check on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a.
Can I give him a DC of 11?
Sure.
That would be 10.
10. Yeah.
I got a
Because I-
14.
Okay, yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, he's not okay.
Kitchen.
He has some
Got it.
serious underlying issues going on with him.
I'm gonna go back into the bathroom, get dressed, and then head toward the kitchen.
You just hear groaning coming from the kitchen.
That's how I know where to find it, is I hear Austin.
Austin is not only sitting there in pain, but he does not understand. He's never found his bottom before, and he's found it.
Nice.
You just see him like collapse on the floor, just.
And I'm going to plop into a nearby chair as I contemplate my existential crisis.
Where's Cons at?
I'm assuming still in the library. The
Study, yeah.
the study.
Look over at Artorius. Where's Cons at?
Reading Mother's study, just up the stairs there.
Within yelling distance?
He should be.
I mean, if you yell loud enough, anyone's within yelling distance.
Konstantin, get to the kitchen!
I
Yeah,
believe
you
I would've
hear it.
already started my way down as he starts yelling.
Yeah, as he yells, it kind of startles you. Like, it gives you flashbacks to when your mom would yell, "Dinner's ready" or something.
And dinner is in fact ready.
Well, it's more like brunch time.
Yeah,
But-
we can slow roast Austin over a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably has an apple in his mouth already, so.
While Cons is making his way to the kitchen, I'm pulling out my stack of missing people's posters.
Yeah.
As I hear the rustling, I'll be sitting up.
Oh, as I get to the kitchen, I'll look over to our Artorius?
Torius.
Artorius. And walk back into the kitchen. Or walk into the kitchen.
I think you're in the kitchen, aren't you, Artorius? You're sitting
Yeah.
at the dining table.
Just flopped into a chair. I'm in that posture where my posterior meets the base of the chair and my upper back meets the midpoint of the chair, and there's just like a huge gap there. It is still a position of complete defeat.
Okay, it's time to fill you in exactly what's going on, Artorius. And maybe it might help with whatever you're going on with you. I don't know.
I'm
I'll
going
take
to
out the other missing people's the posters and
I'm going to interrupt him and say, I'm an anarchist.
Okay, so exactly what I'm about to tell you might help clear up whatever's going on with you. And I'm gonna reach into Khan's backpack as he didn't pull this out and pull out the map with the giant red circle and the
I had
map
pulled that.
with. You just said you pulled out the missing papers.
Yeah, well, he should have seen the red circle map.
Right, I'm pulling that out, putting it on the counter, and the dots that make the Anarchist A.
Yeah, you see he pulls out a big map of all of Markaleth, and it has lines going throughout the entire city, and then a red circle circled at part of the favela. And then another map he pulls up is a zoomed in detailed map of the favela, and you see locations circled of what you can assume is the missing people, which have a layout of the Anarchist A, the symbol they use.
So
I'll pull out the journal and flip it to the his mother's page of son being anarchist.
you're an anarchist, but don't remember being an anarchist.
Well, it does say suspicion.
Well, I was going off of what he literally said.
Oh, he said he pulled it out the thing. So I
No,
thought
what Mike said.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
What Artorius said. Because he said, I'm an
Yeah.
anarchist. Do you not remember anything that happened prior to the 3 days of you being asleep?
I don't have any recollection of what happened in the last month.
Okay.
It's like I'm just. It's
Just
like I'm
like-
swimming around in a dark, starless sea. I can't see or hear
Oh, Mark.
anything.
You're kind of quiet, Oston.
It's horrifying.
So Markaleth is a big, starless, dark sea.
Oh, it's a lot darker than that. It's like I can't even begin to describe it.
Yeah, and I mean the month before, like the time before, when the emptiness goes away, you don't remember you ever being an anarchist then, or having any ties to any anarchists.
No, I've always been just a regular guy. I mean, I got into trouble every now and then, but
Most
You know,
nobles, kids do. Well,
life
rebellious.
yeah, life of being a rich kid. You know, the folks bail you out. I would sneak into places I wasn't supposed to be. That kind of thing. Typical kid stuff.
My big brother used to do that. He was a lieutenant of the guard.
What was his
He
name?
used- Jet.
You do recognize that name. As the son of a knight, you heard about a lot of people who had very high potential of joining knighthood, and his name came up quite a bit, along with his father, Onyx.
I suggest we don't tell my brother that you had any ties with the anarchists, because he may put an end to you.
To be
Even
fair, Cons.
suggested ties.
To be fair, Cons, I don't trust your brother as far as I can throw him, and since I can't touch him because he's a knight, that's not very far.
I'm with you. I trust him, but I also don't trust him.
So
That is fair. I don't
You're-
trust myself.
you're going through a lot of stuff, Artorius. Let me just tell you that I've been having visions of being my brother the day he died.
Which, again, you chalked that up about a year ago when you heard about Onyx's son dying.
That was a while back.
Watching it from above when I was nowhere near it. And with you being an anarchist, I don't feel too bad about saying this, even though it's gonna haunt me for the rest. Because of these visions, I killed someone very dear to me.
I have
Obsidian
so
on the
many
arm.
questions. I have so many questions. You guys
Ask
have so
him.
many questions.
Ask him. See if we got an answer.
Visions. Okay, you were above your brother when he
At first, I was my brother.
and then you were looking down on him from above.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's had two.
Did you investigate that spot?
I couldn't move. I went back to it afterwards. There were feet print about the same size of mine, and handprints on the railing of the building that matched my hands.
We did investigate the alleyway that he was in, and we
And found this.
It just
That
looks
is-
like a rock to you.
This is a piece of Jet's hair.
Might I investigate it?
Yeah,
Down on the counter.
it looks a lot like Obsidian's, except from Obsidian's goes from black to red tips. Jet's goes from black to white tips.
Do I notice anything off about it?
Not really. I mean, you don't know a lot about Earth Genasi's.
This was still on the ground apparently a year later.
I'm going to return it to him.
Place it back in my pocket. I had a second vision, because in the first vision he was being attacked by a giant group of anarchists. And I watched from above. I thought that was where he died, but that's not where he died. He apparently died near the industrial district. The second vision I saw of him, he took this weapon, and I hold up Night Stars, slammed it into the ground, and created a giant shockwave to blast all those anarchists away from him. I then had a third vision when we ran into our second mutated Rotten. It was this big fat thing that exploded all over us.
That's gross.
It hurt. I had a vision. The big bloated thing was actually this little 8-year-old girl's father. I went back up to her room to investigate, and I had another vision where I turned around and saw this long, gangly shadow man. I couldn't really see his face, standing over her body. Giant claws, blood dripping. And so I went and attacked the man. I was actually able to move. And I went and swung, and I snapped back into reality. Time to find out it was actually the 8-year-old little girl that I just smashed with my weapon and killed her.
And let me guess, Moonrod.
She wasn't turned.
But you were.
I don't know. Moonrot doesn't usually just go away.
That actually. So, on the subject of visions, I had a vision. Back at the factory. My mother went into a rage, an unbridled rage, and she attacked my father with this knife as I pull out the knife and drove it into his chest. And she screamed something to the extent of, "You will not harm my son." So if you saw someone attacking a loved one, and that prompted you to attack that thing, then that's sort of connected.
I chime into that point, and I don't remember if it was Khan's grandfather or Artorius Sanctus, excuse me, that that having visions is something. It sounds like someone with moon rot.
That's the grandfather.
The grandfather.
That was my grandfather.
Yeah, Sanctus mentioned someone else having visions.
Yeah. Now, Sanctus did mention that other people have had visions, but he wouldn't give me any info. He's a sneaky one like that.
Interesting.
Well, he doesn't have a door to hide behind anymore, so.
Am I sounding okay real fast?
Yeah,
Because
you're
I'm
good.
hearing everyone real very staticky and robot-y.
Oh, you sound fine.
Everyone sounds like they're speaking through a fan.
Where's my phone at?
No, we're not hearing it from you, Jacob. You may have to mess with something there on your end, Con.
If I
Disconnect,
leave, will
reconnect.
that screw up the stream?
Oh no.
No, you're good. Just disconnect and reconnect. It's gonna mess up the cams for a second. It will be okay.
Okay.
How about now?
It sounds a heck of a lot better.
There we go. Issue solved.
Yeah, everything's back to normal on stream. It's all good.
So,
Okay.
if
So-
I'm suffering from moon rot, I have no idea. I'm suffering from moon rot. You're an anarchist. Like, what else can go wrong?
a lot of things.
We're gonna find out that Austin's like a
Right.
monkey or something.
Right as you say, what else can go wrong? Austin's button out of his pants flies and hits one of the portraits on the wall and shatters the glass.
Ollie.
It's replaceable. It is. No fault of yours. You were. Well, so this dagger, why I held it up, it's kind of a twofold importance here. My father spoke to me through this thing. I swear up and down he did. He didn't know where he was.
I'm gonna make the DM work real quick. I'm gonna cast magical awareness.
And as you do that, you are hit with overwhelming forces of necrotic energy coming from the dagger.
That was a bad idea.
I
It
mean,
doesn't hurt. There's also divination magic coming from it too.
I was gonna say I was gonna use a divine sense for around this table.
Yeah, no
Like
evil.
that dagger.
Yeah, no evil's coming off of it.
Well, I can tell you this much, Artorius. There's a lot of necromantic and divination magic coming off of that dagger.
That's not a comfort to me at all.
No, it's not evil, so you don't have to deal with that. There's no evil around us.
And it's obviously not food.
So, your mother stabbed him with that dagger, and now you can talk to your father through it.
I could. I can't seem to get a hold of him anymore. It's just like a light that faded into the dark. He said what he had to say, and all I wanted to do was bring him home. I do not think that he's coming home. I have no reason to believe that he made it out of that encounter alive. Having said that, my mother is no murderer, and you aren't either.
Yeah, well, the knights seem to beg to differ.
The knights, they know everything, but they don't know everything, if that makes sense. That is the impression that I'm getting. They have seen a lot because they have to. They have to know about this. My mother was a knight. I need to figure out what happened to her, if at all possible.
If you're wanting, my grandfather may be some help with that.
To be
Yeah.
fair, if she was deemed rotten, she would have been taken to the facility in the Monarch district.
Oh no.
I've never seen the building. I don't know what happens there, but I know that's where I used to be a guard. I used to rally up all the rottens after the dark moons, hand them off to a lieutenant and captain, and they would take them away. That's where my mother went. I lost my mother to the moon rot.
I'm gonna tell him about the rotten that happened at the castle. About what my brother told me.
Yeah, so Konstantin just talks about how his brother let him aware of an incident that happened at the last dark moon. The first affliction in the palace in over 500 years. It's caused a lot of chaos and panic inside the monarch. And they've been keeping it on a down low to not worry any of the citizens of Markaleth.
And when did that happen?
This past dark moon.
Yeah, this past dark moon.
2.5 days ago.
Then it connects.
It's weird though, because like Conj just said, it hasn't happened in several 100 years. And the rotten abundance that's usually in the favela was not there this past dark moon. I was out there all night, and I didn't see a single rotten at all in the favela.
I want to point to the journal entry of his mother's entry of this state was before the dark moon. Before you have no memory of it, I believe.
Yes.
What was the party about?
Her promotion to a knight. As far as I can remember. That's what she... At first, she wasn't aspiring to it. She loved what she did, but over time, she just got happier and happier. Because I guess that was the talk.
Side note to the DM asking, when we were out investigating the boom of the, noise.
Kaboom, yeah.
Yeah. Did I notice if the moon was any different from any of the other times that I'd gone out? Was it bigger, shinier, different in any way?
The moon's out in the dark moon.
I know, but was it different? Like, was it different than a normal one? Than a normal dark moon?
Not that you could tell.
Okay, good. Connecting it with, has it happened in 500 years? It would be weird if it was different this last time.
Yeah, no, I got you. And just to kind of clarify up, it wasn't her knighting ceremony. It was, which you do remember, it was a different kind of promotion. She already was a knight. From what you could remember, trying to rack through your brains, your cam went out, Obsidian.
Awesome.
There, it popped back on.
There it is.
You remember it was a promotion to become a head detective on a case that she's been working on.
Okay, so I'll clarify with that. And then kind of ask rhetorically, maybe it was the case she was working on regarding me? That was the last entry in the journal. She was
Oh,
going
there
to...
it went again. Oh.
He's rotten!
He looked like a Smurf. That was funny. He looked like a Smurf.
So, yeah. More questions, not so many answers.
seems to be the theme of our searching.
No joke.
What's the first lead that we should take?
Well, we investigated the circle now. That was Khan's thing. We investigated... No, we still needed to do Aaron's... Or no, we went to his house. Did we go to his house?
Yeah, you went to Aaron Pearson's house.
Okay. So we went,
Yeah, and then we found him.
Well, no, I know that, but... We had locations that we were trying to do before Artorius decided to hop on in.
It's not my fault you guys were down there playing in the mud.
There are
Oh, we
only...
wish it was mud.
The problem with going and looking for those missing people, Austin, is the knights.
They
Well, no,
forbid
but I
us
mean,
from
did
looking
we
into
get
them.
through all of our ones that we were trying for beforehand? Didn't we have 4?
We never went to the Rocas. Never went to go see Remy Wilcox.
Okay.
We went to Pearson's, the Mezzas. We saw what happened to Tahia. And now the shorts are missing. I have no idea where they could have gone.
So, my brother forbade us from investigating the missing people.
Except for the shorts.
He did not, but he did tell us that we were free to go after this mutation that put a hole in my stomach.
Yeah.
Tries to reach over again.
Doubt. And the last known location of that creature was here in the industrial district, I do believe.
I believe that was the last rumor we got.
And as y'all are chatting, y'all hear a knock come from the front door.
If you gentlemen stay put, I will figure out what this is all about.
I'm gonna start putting papers back in my bag.
Looking over at Artorius. Keep us updated.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to open the door.
You open the door and you don't notice anyone out until you kind of see a puff of smoke appear, and you look down and you see a small gnomish figure with a fedora hat and a trench coat with his pipe. Well, you're not who I expected to answer the door.
Do I know this gentleman?
Yeah, you probably have heard of him.
His mom.
He's what you would call,
Eccentric.
nah, he's a detective for the wrong reasons. You kind of look at him as not as a great person.
Oh,
He's a
wait
freelance.
a minute. Wait a minute. I've heard of you. Sherlock Gnomes? Am I correct?
Potentially, it might be who asks.
Do
Oh,
we hear this?
let's- yeah, because my voice
I'm
is
gonna
getting
know that
louder.
annoying voice.
Yeah. And I'm just going to look at him and say, yeah. My mom used to talk about you all the time. You're dirty as my underwear. What do you want?
I'm gonna look out towards the front door.
Yeah,
Try
you
to
see
hobble and do the same.
you see a familiar face, and he just kind of like glances past Artorius and is like, You are who I was looking for. What? Why are you here?
If you're such a great detective, wouldn't you know that?
And he's like, You need to come here now.
No, you come here.
Well, I'm
Good
not gonna
sir.
go into his
These
house.
are my guests. What use could you possibly have from my illustrious guests?
Well, in all fairness, he's been helping us out a little bit.
All right.
You call that
fine.
help?
I'll swing the door open. You got 5 minutes.
I'm gonna walk on up. What's up, Sherlock?
I'm might have some more information on your parents. And he hands you over a rolled up piece of parchment.
Take it.
And in bold letters, you see "want it" and a familiar picture of a half-elf with black long hair.
I'm gonna roll it back up. Thank you for the help, and I'm gonna close the door.
Finally!
And then I'm going to walk back to the kitchen and place the poster down on the table.
Closed or open?
Open.
You have got to be kidding me.
Who is it by?
It's a wanted poster directly sent from the Monarch.
Ooh. If Sherlock wants to tie this, it's impossible because if your story lines up, Artorius, and you've been out for 3.5 days, we've seen them within the past 3 days. All 3 of us have seen my parents.
Anyone want to read what it's wanted for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading it.
So, you see a half-elf known as Artorius Andorhil is wanted for the murder of Avalea and Phyllis Andorhil. He is considered dangerous. Do not try to take in peacefully.
That thing
So
about
one
not
is
telling
dead.
my brother who you are.
I'm going to go ahead and take this wanted poster, crumble it up, and throw it over my shoulder. I don't care what that says.
Was there at least a reward on it?
It doesn't matter. They wanted you dead.
Care about money.
If I cared about money, I wouldn't have left the living district, and I would have continued to be a guard living under my dad's rule. But no,
And
I
been a
live in the
lieutenant
favela.
by now.
Well, there goes that idea.
I don't need it.
And like I said, they wanted you dead. I don't plan on killing you. You haven't done anything but help us. I don't plan on attacking you.
That's a comfort. That's a comfort. That is definitely something that I needed for my day. My question is, why? My
I'm assuming-
mother was alive. This.
I was about to say, I'm assuming that's both your mother and your father.
Yes. My
Well, it
mother-
explains why the factory wasn't open.
Well, we already established that his father was dead.
So, putting aside the petty rivalry my mother probably had with this guy, all the nice little bedtime stories, he didn't try to take me in, so that's a good thing, right?
He probably couldn't. Though I haven't seen his prowess with the giant gun he has.
I don't.
He also plays the long game.
Artorius.
I'm curious.
Is
Oh,
there
before
any
you.
of your? Is there any any worker in that factory that you trust absolutely?
I would say probably not, for the simple fact
Yep.
that they don't make a lot of money, so most of them would probably accept quite a bit of bribes.
Yep. No. I made the mistake of living mostly a solitary life, so I don't have friends. You guys are probably the closest I've gotten to friends ever.
So there is no employee that you can give your key to and say that they've been sick and couldn't open the factory until today. As they are what's the term? Someone who's higher up on the chain of command for the factory.
I
Foreman.
don't know.
Yeah, that.
Management style.
I don't know any names personally. That was a big mistake my father made. He was industrious for management.
Yeah, he had a lot of thoughts of I should be able to run my business all by myself.
Well, see how you did just open up your factory and turn it on today. Hopefully no one else puts two and two together that something's not right. Or someone of your name has just opened up the factory.
To that point, I think we need to skedaddle to Obsidian's fortifiedness hovel.
I think this house is a little bit better.
This
If
house.
he was just at the at there, they might come looking here. They won't come looking at your place.
Oh yeah, they won't come looking for one of the only few Earth Genasies, and that was just blocking entrance to the entire factory with a giant two-handed morning star.
Night Star.
Yeah. I have
That's
just.
probably the smartest thing Obsidian will ever say.
Yeah. I have just doomed us all. That is essentially what's happened.
Look. Art, we were doomed before all this.
To balance out your thought, though, Obsidian, it does pop in your mind. We could go back into the sewers.
Nope.
I was thinking the same thing, but I knew I wasn't allowed to say it.
Nope.
We do have one place we can go.
And where's that?
Teenage
Khan's
Mutant
house.
Ninja Turtle. Oh.
The only problem with that is we know that Anarchists have been running out of it.
So what's one more?
Yeah, I'll say that.
One running into it.
I'll say that. What's one more?
Exactly.
And if I was one of them and they recognize me, there's two possible reactions they could have. Invite me back with open arms or kill me on sight.
And
At
if
which
they-
point we could gather information or fight to the death. I don't know.
I mean, those are options, but I think, honestly, is there a back door to this place?
I wish I could say there was. No. Front door only.
Exactly. This place is probably more fortified than my POS hovel in the favela.
And my house has two entrances. Front door and the top. Yeah. Third floor door.
There's
Roof
food
access.
here.
There's
Could
food
always-
in my.
Could always fill our bags. Find a place to squat while we figure this out and then come back when we need more.
Well, honestly, I can go bar the front door and fortify it to make it a lot harder for people to get in here.
Okay.
When he opened the factory doors, the garage door on the factory, was there wood or anything in there that I could go collect and bring back?
Yeah, there's probably some spare lumber in there you could probably use.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to the factory real quick.
We should still
Following.
On
we
my
should still be connected, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been
It's
4
4
hours
hours.
yet. It's
Oh,
probably
on
been
my
like
way to
hour
the
and a
front
half or
of the
so.
factory, I'm gonna get. Can I look around for Reggie?
So yeah, as you come to the front of the factory and you head on in, you notice a construct working with on his chest. R39913.
Reggie!
And he kind of like turns and looks. Obsidian.
Hey, I need you to grab this lumber and bring it with you.
Okay. And he bends down and picks
Now-
up.
Me actually looking inside with them, does my passive catch anything out of the ordinary?
Yeah, you catch a Earth Genasi talking to a construct, and the construct talking back to the Earth Genasi.
I didn't think I'd need my passive to notice that, but okay.
Constructs normally don't talk back to people.
Well, I wouldn't know that. I've been in a monastery. There's no constructs there.
Constructs in the educational district.
Not that I would know of.
And I'm gonna lead Reggie back with the armful of lumber.
Yeah, about 30 minutes later, Artorius, you hear stomping coming to the front of the house.
Poke my head out the door.
And you see Obsidian carrying some lumber, Oston running behind, and then one of the constructs from your father's factory following behind him with a whole bunch of lumber.
You know what? I've seen it all. I
If you
have.
could just put it right here, Reggie, that's great.
Will do.
And then
Sets
you
it
can
down.
get back to work. I'll catch you at the bar later.
Have a good day. As he walks off, and your entire life, you've never heard a construct talk. Like, even to your dad, who owns them.
I've probably never heard a construct talk.
Yeah,
He's a
you're
real
not
cool
around
guy.
constructs a lot.
He's a real cool guy.
Do they normally talk?
No.
No.
This is really the first time you're thinking about it.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
That was cool.
Oh. Okay.
His name's Reggie.
Reggie. Got it.
Well, that's what I call him. It's like R39913 or whatever.
That works. Yeah, Reggie. All right.
And I'm... Go ahead.
Talk to him sometime.
And then I'm gonna start fortifying doors and windows.
As you're fortifying, all of y'all hear at the same time as a blood-curdling scream from a woman is let out outside the house.
I'm gonna run outside.
Although,
I'm gonna go outside.
Follow.
If I'm near a window, I'll jump out the window.
The first thing y'all notice is darkness.
Grabbing 9 stars.
You look up in the sky, and the moon is nowhere to be seen.
Is this a...
You start to hear it as growls and screams off in the distance start to become more and more prevalent.
Is this a
Lantern
dark
lit.
moon?
Lantern's lit, it's putting off light.
I'm just saying, I lit my lantern.
Yeah.
Because I can't see anything.
It's been 3 days. What's happening? The moon is out again. And we'll have to figure out what's going on next time. As we'll continue the Moonrot Scourge next Friday here on Twitch. Episode 3. Hope to see y'all all there. I hope y'all had a great time tonight. Again, you can find all our content on YouTube, Madness included, and on y'all's different podcast sites, Spotify, Apple Music. And we hope y'all have a good night.
Have a good one,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Yay for cliffhangers!